Hi, welcome to Cup of Chocolate. I'm Shoko. In each episode of this podcast, a friend and I will be chatting and discussing listener submitted stories and gossip. So grab a cup and let's chat.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Oh, beautiful. You sound excellent.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I guess my Bluetooth headset decided to not work, but
Oh
but,
no. All
but we're
right.
here. We
We
finally got
we're
this. I
we are
finally,
back in
please.
action now.
All right. I was like, please, let's start, please.
Uh, all right, we are here with my very good friend DJ. DJ,
Hello.
you are hello. You are anime fanboy, video game fanatic, movie, TV, all of that. You are an ex sports guy. DJ, you are our homie next door.
I am indeed the homie next door. Yes, I am.
How are you doing, DJ?
Oh man. Right now I'm doing great because just finished work. It's been a long week, but I'm glad I finally get to be here. We're finally doing this podcast after 2 weeks in the 2 weeks in the making because a little thing
Yeah,
called life got in the way. So, but we're here. It's all good now.
we're here. It's all good. I'm on the same boat. I've been having a rough week.
Oh,
um,
I'm so sorry for that.
it's okay. It's not like, I'm just like very busy. So this podcast, this is gonna go live like towards the end of January, but we are here today recording in the middle of December. And so it's just, year end chaos. Everything is just crazy.
Yeah, I imagine so, especially with the holidays and Christmas coming
Yeah.
up and all that. Yeah, trust me, I know I'm in the same exact boat, working in the hospital. Everybody trying to
Oh,
get all these patients out before the holidays. So I
everyone's
understand.
everyone's getting hurt right before the year end.
Oh yes, yeah, like just for some odd reason, it's just like, oh, snap,
No.
got snap, break my ankle, so let me just go in the hospital real
Yeah.
quick.
Before your insurance resets, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. All right. So, um, in full transparency, the story I have ready for us today is not a listener submission. Um,
Mhm.
it is a story I pulled from the subreddit r Today I Fucked Up.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
which is like a gold mine for these stories. I have still changed the names and places from the Reddit post, but I hope we get more listener submissions because sometimes I will have to pull from Reddit if the submissions are slow.
mhm.
But I will be completely transparent whenever I post or whenever I use a story from Reddit. But so everyone listening, please send in your stories. I want to hear your stories,
Please,
not
please,
not from
we need
Reddit.
all the stories. Please send all this
Yeah,
beautiful for all the stories, please.
absolutely. So DJ, are you ready for your pre-story sip? What's in your cup?
Yeah, let me take a sip right now. My
What's
reggae
yeah?
wine peach.
Oh,
It's a local winery here that's actually based off of Indianapolis.
oh, that's awesome. So
Yep.
it's like a peach. What is it, a peach flavored brew?
Uh, a, a peach flavored margarita.
Oh, that
So
sounds fancy.
made already. Oh, super fancy.
Do you want to plug this local brewery? What's it called?
Oh,
Or is
oh,
it
bad
too
now.
local?
It is local. Oh man, maybe next episode I can give it to you. I
Okay.
apologize. I am so
No
bad with that.
problem. No problem. I don't want to be like doxing you. Like, I hope it's not the brewery like next to your house, but
No, 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 no. It's like downtown Indiana, so no, it's all
okay.
good.
All right. Well, next time you will have to plug the brewery.
I promise. I got y'all. Next time, I promise I have the information. And I am sorry. I am very alert.
Hello? Hello?
Ooh, can you hear me?
Yes. Did the screen go black?
Okay. Oh crap, I forgot. All right.
That's okay. That's okay. Just make sure that the screen doesn't die.
Yeah, I think my finger slipped by mistake. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
no problem. It's okay. All right. So I have a cup of jasmine tea. I've been having a
Ooh,
migraine this past couple days because of low air pressure, which sucks. But I guess, I
yeah.
don't know. I just feel like jasmine tea is something that will fix me. Um,
I hope it's helping because that sounds very brutal.
it is brutal. It is so brutal. And I don't think there's anything we can really do about air pressure migraines, because I can't control the weather. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, all right.
Are you
If
ready
only we
for
could
your
control some
sip?
weather.
Done.
Yes, I am.
Here, okay, here we go.
All right.
Ah, so good.
Love it.
All right. So, as I said, this story is from Reddit, but I have changed all the names and the places.
Okay.
Um, this story is from Evan. Evan is 27 years old, and he is really into music and especially a super duper fan of one particular female artist we will call Jessie.
Okay.
He's been a huge fan since about he was about 22, so that's like 4 or 5 years. Jessie is not super famous. Evan usually has to explain who she is when he is asked who his favorite artist is, but she has a very big, dedicated fan base. Her Instagram has over 1 million followers.
Oh wow, she's up there.
Yeah. Um, so until Jessie, Evan has never really had any celebrity crushes. Do you have celebrity crushes?
Oh, I don't even know where to start. Like, where do I start? Yes, and
Ooh.
yes.
Will you share these crushes? Who are you crushing on?
Oh, oh man. Let's see. We got Angela Bassett.
Oh, yes.
We have the lady that plays Scooby Doo, the live action movie to play Velma. Have a crush on her.
Oh.
Uh, the nanny, Fran. I love her. Have a crush on
Oh.
her.
You have great taste, by the way.
Um, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just a guy that just be thirsting and crushing on a lot of people.
I love it. So Evan knows every single song Jessie has ever released. He has seen every talk show she's been on, every interview she has given. I have a feeling you're not as crazy about, Fran as
No, no,
Evan is
not
about
even
Jessie.
no.
Evan is like, he's down bad. Like he loves her music, loves her personality, or at least how she presents herself in interviews. Um,
Hmm.
Jessie is beautiful and seems to have the kindest heart. So I get it. I get it, Evan.
Oof, Evan sounding kind of obsessed. It's kind of scary already.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with like super fans, like how the feeling of super fans. In like high school where people were like completely obsessed with celebrities.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. So,
But like, I never had a like even in high school. Though, I never. I mean, say for instance, like Jessica. I'm just going with example. Jessica
mm,
Alba. Like, I mean,
mm.
I was obsessed with her
Yeah,
back in the day, but not like to the point where I was like, oh, I gotta watch all her movies and every interview
right.
she's in and every, I don't know, every comedy like scene. Like, I don't know. This seems like it's already getting kind of a weird territory vibe already.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in the same boat. Like I remember when I was in high school, like everyone was like super obsessed, or all my girlfriends were super obsessed with Josh Hartnett. Like it was around the time what was that? Pearl Harbor movie came out, and
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
yeah, everyone was just like drooling and like, writing his name in their notebook. And I was just like, I do not understand this level of obsess. But
It was kind of was it kind of like that too for the Twilight for Edward and
Oh, totally.
the guy
Yeah.
the guy played it where I don't know their name. I never watched the movie. I watched the first movie a long time ago, and that was only for like a date, and I do not remember anything. I just remember Edward had like diamonds, and he was like considering himself as a monster, and I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I ever watched. But yeah, but
Yes.
it was kind of weird though, because it was like everybody's so obsessed with this person. I'm like, oh my god, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, like you're never gonna meet them. I mean, maybe that's the fantasy. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I do not know.
I
Like
do not
the
know.
only person I would be obsessed with like that is Keanu Reeves. That's because Keanu Reeves is amazing.
Oh, yes, yes. But I think everyone can get on board with that.
Okay.
He's yeah, he's worth the obsession. Sorry, I'm like
Yes.
tripping on
He
my tongue.
deserves he deserves the accession. That man
Yes,
is
yes,
amazing.
that man is gold. All right, so back to our story. Evan is on a business trip abroad. He is not a big walker, but after a long day of work, while jet lagged in a small, unfamiliar office, he decides to walk back to his hotel to get a stretch, get some fresh air. On his way back to the hotel, he passes a small bar. It looks quiet, and despite his exhaustion, Evan decides to see what local beers they have on menu. This is a great, segue from your local brewery we were just talking about.
Oh no, if only I had the
All
information.
right.
So, oh God. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I
No
got you next
problem.
time.
Next
But I
time,
will take a sip. I
absolutely.
will take a sip from
Yes,
deliciousness though.
let's take a sip for that.
Delicious.
Excellent. So, trying the local beers during his travels is a bit of a hobby for Evan, which I can get on board with. I think that's really fun.
Hmm. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So Evan is sitting at the bar. He orders a beer. He starts mindlessly scrolling his phone so he isn't alone with his thoughts and just, sitting awkwardly, making eye contact with the guy behind the bar.
Yeah.
The beer is good, very good, and he decides to try another one. After ordering his second beer, someone says hi. And
Hmm.
Evan is not sure if he was the one intended for the greeting, but this is a quiet and slow bar, so there aren't many other people it could be. Evan turns around to see her.
This sounded like a movie already, but keep going.
What would you do if you saw, I don't know, maybe Keanu Reeves, and he's just like, hey man, what would you do?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I probably have a really big fangasm right now.
Oh
I'll be like, oh my god, Keanu Reeves.
my gosh,
Um,
I know.
yeah, let me buy you a drink.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I can kind of understand, the person he was obsessed with, the celebrity wise and stuff, and finally the person's like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh my God, this person right in front of me right now." So I can kind of understand it because it's like, what those once in a lifetime moments that like you never thought would happen in a million years. So I can
Yeah.
kind of get that.
Yeah, I can imagine how Evan is feeling. So Evan has met women at bars before, but usually the woman doesn't make the first move. And of all people, it is Jesse. And
Ooh,
of course, Evan is in disbelief. He thinks he has fallen asleep at his desk at work and is dreaming.
ooh,
I
how
would
drunk?
too.
Oh my God, how drunk was he?
Right? I mean,
Lord.
jet lag, exhaustion, plus two
Oh, okay,
beers.
yeah,
Well, I guess
yeah.
one beer. I don't know if he's actually drank the second one. He's just ordered it. So,
Yeah, and jet lag is a real thing. I usually don't fly that much, but
mm.
around a couple of years ago, I started flying a lot more, and I didn't know jet lag was even a thing. And then I'm like, oh my god, this is a real thing. This is terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I've basically only gone from, the States to Japan back and forth. So I do know jet lag. I haven't been to many other places, but I do know some pretty down bad jet lag.
Ooh, I
So
can't
yeah,
imagine.
it is rough. Um, Evan is internally screaming, crying, throwing up. He is like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But by some miraculous otherworldly power, Evan is able to keep his cool and squeak a quick hi back.
Okay, good, good, good. So
Good
far,
job,
so good.
Evan. Good
Yeah,
job, Evan.
I couldn't have
uh,
done it, but yeah, good job.
yeah, I don't know if I could have said anything. I probably would have fallen off my stool.
Oh man, my black ass would have screamed like a little schoolgirl if I saw Keanu Reeves. I was like,
So Jessie tells Evan that since she was sitting alone and he was sitting alone, she thought it might be nice to chat together over drinks. Um,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Well, I was
Evan
gonna
is.
say, is there a segue for another for a sip?
Oh yeah, should we have another sip?
Oh, yeah, yes, ma'am.
I hope you're not gonna get drunk by the end of this episode.
I have a feeling I will, and it will make your
I
episode
love it.
amazing.
I love it. It's like take a shot every time we mention the name Evan.
Oh my God, you trying to get me blitz?
All right, so Evan is extremely nervous and is doing everything in his power to remain cool. He says, "Of course, I mean, why not? Sit." And rather aggressively pulls out the chair next to him. You know how your nerves do.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to keep cool, and the harder you try, the worse it is.
Oh man, oh
Ugh.
God, it's making me cringe because I'm just like, oh God, the high school moments where I'm just like,
Oh
yeah,
man.
I'm cool, and then I just slip. I'm like, oh my God, just God, take me away right now, please.
And like these times are when you are like super conscious of like every inch of your body, and you're just like,
Hmm.
oh, just everything is too surreal.
Yeah, it's terrible. I that's why like all the time I'm just like, oh my God, I hate like my high school stuff. I'd be cringing so bad.
Oh no. Me too though. I'm on the same boat. I feel the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, high school me was something. I've
But like
like
it wasn't like it wasn't the fact that like I like because like let's be I was the jock, but then at the same time I feel like I was like trying to play a character. It wasn't like the real me
mhm.
I'm talking to you right now. So I was like a lot of things that like a lot of people's like, yeah, you like this? I'm like, yeah, I like it, but of course I didn't because
Aw.
the popular kids liked it, but I'm like, this is
Yes.
kind of dumb, but I got to have to 'cause I'm trying to impress this girl. So yeah, this is
Uh,
yeah, I love me some I'm trying to think of something in high school that was popular. Taylor Swift. I don't know.
oh
I'm just
yeah.
making those
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I was all of like I was never super popular. I was not popular at all. I was a very shy child.
I feel like that's a lie. I feel like all that's a
No.
lie. You're a liar, man.
I was so shy. Like
Oh,
you
really?
won't believe. Like you will not believe.
Oh
I remember,
man.
yeah, I actually, that reminds me, I remember the year I graduated from high school, the class president, who was like, this super popular, super smart kid, like, we finished all like the celebrations and everything, and he comes by and he's like, "Hey Shoko, it's been nice, seeing you in school. Congratulations on graduating. Maybe I'll see you around." And I was like, how does he know my name?
Oh,
Like,
oh,
that's how shy I was.
oh man. What? It's so crazy because you don't seem like that at all. I can't really say that because I was a douchebag. I was a douchebag back in high school, so I
Oh
can't
no.
really.
I did like reinvent myself. I did bloom in college. Not reinvent myself in the sense of like creating a new persona, but I realized
Mhm.
that like I was just gonna do me and stop trying to like, you know, be something else.
Yeah, I feel like college is like the the best time to discover who you like, discover your real
Hmm.
self. Because that's exactly what happened to me. Because I was like, okay, cool. Because after a while, like maybe my sophomore year, I was like, okay, why am I like working out like 7 days a week? Like, who am I trying to impress? I'm like, this.
Hmm.
I don't enjoy this. I don't want to do that. And that was back when I was super into like MMA, UFC, and stuff with the tap out
Hmm.
shirts. And I'm like, I'm tired of buying these high price ass douchebag shirts. I don't want to do this
Yeah.
anymore.
Right, like you got to do it for yourself, and that's the realization I made when I was in college. It took a long time to make that realization, you know.
Yeah,
Like
of course.
I had to drop out of that college uh, to make that realization. um, but yeah, like I realized that I need to do stuff and be myself for me, and not for other people.
Yeah, and I'm so happy I'm so happy that you found that journey and like we're both able
Oh,
to just feel comfortable, just like exactly like now, just being comfortable with ourselves to the point where we don't have to feel like we're like playing a character. So,
yeah.
but I was gonna say, I feel like we're getting off on track. Let's
We
go back
are.
to the
We
story.
are. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay.
I'm enjoying this conversation with you, DJ.
Oh, me too, me too. I love it.
All right. So back to Evan's story. So we left off. Evan is internally, he's going out of his mind. But it still seems like Jesse hasn't realized that he is a fan. Evan tells her his name and she tells him hers. And it takes everything in his body for Evan to not just blurt out every fact he knows about her.
Okay, this is where it gets creepy. Okay, keep going.
Because as you know, as we remember, he is a super duper mega fan. Like he self-proclaimed biggest fan of Jesse's.
Oh, he's like a Swifty, but not Swifty.
He's a Jesse E.
Oh, a Jesse.
Jesse E. A Jesse. Oh god. Now the Swifties are gonna come for us.
No, oh no, no. I love Taylor Swift. Please, I love Taylor Swift. I do. I respect that woman. Please, we don't need that smoke.
No, no smoke, please.
Please.
Okay. At first, so obviously Evan was a little awkward with the conversation. He talked to her about the weather, how nice the bar was, about the country he's in. But the conversation continues for about an hour or so, which is great.
Yeah, conversation with celebrity for an hour. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
with your favorite celebrity. So Evan is
Yeah.
trying to relax. He's feeling a bit more calm. Um,
Okay.
yeah. Evan tells Jesse that he is in the city for work and explains his job briefly, which is just, a boring desk job. Jesse says she's in town for work as well, and that she makes music.
Oh,
Here,
okay.
here is where Evan decides that he should be honest with Jesse. So,
Ooh. Ooh. I feel like we
Ooh,
need a. I feel like we need a sip. I feel like this is gonna
take a
be
sip. Take a sip.
okay. Oh, it's gonna be cringe.
Ooh. So, Evan's
Ugh.
like, I need to tell her. I need to tell her. He tells her he knows who she is and that he is actually a huge fan. He tells her how he loves all her songs, knows all the songs, and how he has all of her merch.
This poor woman. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh. At which point, Evan watches Jesse's face fall from happy to disappointed, and she says, "Oh."
I can't blame her for that
Uh,
because that's pretty awkward.
it's super awkward.
I mean, can you imagine somebody's like you're having a great time with a conversation with some random person at a bar, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh man, I'm okay. I gotta admit, I'm your biggest fan. I have all your merch, all your CDs, your toenail clippings, your baby teeth, your blood type. Like, and it just be like, duh,
Duh.
what?
And like,
Oh, this is creepy.
yeah, and I can imagine that, like, I mean, so Evan mentions that Jesse's not like super duper duper famous, like she's not Taylor Swift, but like she probably was kind of, it was refreshing that someone was like, oh, I actually don't know who you are, just talking like a normal person, not like,
Yeah.
a mega fan. So clearly, Evan sees this switch in Jesse and realizes he has majorly fucked up.
Yeah, bro, you sound
Bro.
creepy. You sound super creepy.
Like, I think maybe it wasn't like, it wouldn't be so bad if he was like, oh yeah, I'm actually a fan of yours, but to tell her like he knows everything about her and then has all her merch, that's where it's just like, oh.
Yeah, it was too much. If he was like, in my opinion, like the way I would have done it, like I just would have I wouldn't have said nothing until the very end. It's like, oh, by the way, I'm a super fan, and just left it at that, and just left it at that. Just
Yeah,
that's it.
that's it. So Jessie says she doesn't think getting close with fans is appropriate.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so in his head, Evan is freaking out. He's like, close. What does that mean? Were they going to get close? Like,
No, Evan. Oh
oh,
God, no,
oh,
Evan.
oh. She goes on to briefly explain why she thought it was wrong. And all Evan could say was like, yeah, I respect that. Evan sounds like a pretty chill guy, like even though he's like super obsessed. He
Mhm.
did truly understand and respect her boundary, but obviously, clearly he was disappointed. He understood that often with fans there is, a power unbalance, and for ethical reasons Jesse held that boundary. So he's not the kind of person who, lashes out when they're um turned down. But
I'm so happy, man. I really thought I was gonna go to that route. I was like, oh man, he's about to go
well,
ham, isn't he?
yeah.
But in a way, I kind of feel sorry for him because like this is like the person that he admires and stuff. And he probably,
Yeah.
I'm guessing in his head, he probably was like, oh, let me tell her how much, her, how much her music helps me, inspire me. But in a way, it came out too, what's the right word for it? Too stalkery and just too kind of
Uh-huh.
like upset, kind of obsessed.
Stalkery,
So it
yeah.
kind of just turn the situation into like, hey, this is like a cool moment to, okay, it's another awkward friend. I'm just going, I'm about to head out.
Exactly. So the conversation became a bit awkward again, and they only spoke for a few minutes. She offered to take a selfie with Evan,
Ooh,
which
the
Evan
pity selfie.
accepted. Yeah.
Oh man.
Evan offered his phone number and said maybe if Jesse was passing through his country, they could grab a coffee.
Oh
Um,
no. Why would he do
uh,
this? No. Oh,
which,
this is keep getting worse.
yeah, which Jesse accepted, actually. She took his phone number, but Evan believes it was more out of politeness than actual interest.
Like we all knew this. It's basically,
Yeah.
I'm assuming this probably happened to you when a person asks for your phone number. You're just like, yeah, I give it to you, and you're just like, let me change that
Right.
one number at the very end. So let me see, let's change that 9, and here we go.
Right. So then Evan walks Jessie out to her car and watches her drive away, accepting that he will probably never ever see her in person again outside of a concert.
Oof, man,
Oh, poor Evan.
I'm this. It's definitely an interesting story because on one hand I'm very conflicted by like one hand I'm like, dude, why would you say? But on the other hand I'm like, oh man, my heart kind of go out like kind of
Right,
sad
right.
for
Like
him.
whose side are you on? Are you on Evan's side? Are you on Jesse's side? Is Evan good or bad in your eyes?
I, yeah, this is a very interesting topic because it's very conflicting because it's like one hand I'm like, oh, you sound creepy. The other hand I'm like, oh, maybe he just sound like he maybe just a really super fan, but he kind of just it it kind of he kind of just went the wrong way like about it. So maybe
Yeah.
he could have just not said that. Just had to keep you cool. Not maybe no, not say I have all your music and all your stuff, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. So I feel bad for Evan. Like he's the protagonist in our story, so obviously I do feel bad for him, but at the same time I completely understand how Jesse feels.
Yeah, 110%, most definitely.
110%. So I'll give you an update.
Oh, we have an
Um
update. Okay,
well,
let's take a
I
sip.
mean, yeah, take a
I was
sip,
gonna say,
take a sip.
take us a sip of that. Okay.
So, I mean, it's not much of an update, but Evan is still a Jesse super fan. And
Okay.
for a while, he couldn't stop thinking about this encounter, obviously, and what it may have led up to had he not messed it up. I think he's still
Yeah.
fantasizing, I could have had a
I'm
night
like,
with
bro.
Jesse.
I'm like, bro. It's she's not gonna marry you. She's not gonna go out with you.
No.
Like, no, none of that's gonna happen. Like, she's probably gonna take a nice picture with you. Probably be a nice to remember, and that's it. Not nothing else is gonna happen after that.
Yep. But he's pretty positive about it, about the whole interaction, right? He was in a foreign country. He rarely takes walks, but had decided on that day to walk back from his office and decided on a whim to enter that random bar only to meet his biggest celebrity crush. It was as if the universe had aligned for him and he just completely dropped the ball. But he still had spent a couple hours talking with his favorite artist one on one. So he's like, I'm not too mad about it. My life is
Yeah,
not over.
it's like he got like the moral victory, but at the same time, he kind of like still lost the. He, he lost the battle, but basically won the war, but not really
Yes.
type of
Yes.
thing.
Yeah. It seems like Jesse was in fact, that kind, really cool artist that he had imagined from, had the image of in the beginning. So it's just confirmed to him that, she is really chill, but she has her boundaries.
Yeah, which is understandable on her part because you don't. There's a lot of crazy crazy people out there, especially when you're like a
Oh
super
yeah.
fan. That's and like I know a lot of people talk about Taylor Swift, but like in a way, like I really do feel sorry for her because she had,
Yeah.
had to deal with so many people talking about her and being obsessed with her and stalking her and her every like seems like she has no peace like
No,
whatsoever. And that,
no, no,
in my
no.
opinion, that would drive me like crazy.
Yeah. So I'm not like, I don't want to talk about myself like I'm the shit.
Mhm.
But before
But
I
you are
like
the shit.
no. Thank you, DJ. um so before I like switched from IG to Threads, before Threads was a thing,
Uh-huh.
on my IG, I was doing like sign language vlogs basically. Like I was studying and practicing Japanese sign language, and I would make reels just, like basically like the shit I post on Threads, but like in sign language.
Yeah.
Um in Japanese sign language. And like I guess reels, they have this way of not going viral but getting a lot of attention. And so I had like at at the end I had like over 8,000 followers. Like a lot of like deaf fans. Like people would tell me like they were my fan and stuff.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, and it got to a point where like I would be going about, my life here in Japan, traveling with my family, and I would get DMs from people being like, I think I just saw you. And like obviously like I was, so happy that they were happy to see me, and I was like, oh, you should have said, hi. But
Mhm.
at the same time I was like, okay, this is like making me very uncomfortable
Yeah,
because
I can imagine, especially with your family being,
yeah,
being
yeah,
there with you.
yeah. And like ultimately, I also was pretty conflicted because I am a hearing person learning sign language. And so there's this whole like, issue with appropriation where, hearing people are on, getting like viral on TikTok and stuff for teaching sign language, which is not their language. And though I was being really respectful about it, I was not teaching sign language, but I was just, communicating with people in Japanese sign language. I was getting, followers and stuff for sign language. And I just kind of felt icky about it.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, I made the decision to just, to delete all those followers who weren't, actual family friends and then just go private.
That's probably the best choice because,
Yeah.
because there's just a lot of crazy people out here, and you can never like be too, be too sure to trying to protect, especially your family and stuff. I can definitely understand that.
Yeah. And like the people that like did reach out to me being like, hey, I saw you. They were all really respectful and nice. They were like, I saw you were with your family, so I didn't want to like, encroach on your family time. So, they were all really respectful, but it was still kind of creepy. And so ultimately I decided to just, end that. I still do. I'm still studying sign language. I attend a local group twice a month
Which is
to learn.
amazing, especially
Oh.
learning Japanese, which is a very hard. I tried to learn Japanese a couple of years
Mm.
ago, back in like freshman year, and it was literally one of the hardest. I was like, oh my God, this is like hard.
It is,
And
yeah.
yeah, and I was like, oh, this is very hard.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I don't blame you.
I definitely give you props for that.
Oh,
And then
thank
you doing sign language too. Mm, like no doubt, that's big props to you. So you should give yourself a pound on back for that.
thank you. Yeah, I love the language. I love all languages in general. I wish so when the university that I dropped out of that I mentioned before, I took one linguistic class, and it was just, I think that was like the best class, the best time I had at that school. I wish I had, just, stuck with that, but other shit was going on in my life,
Yeah, of
and I
course,
just
of
needed to
course.
like leave. But yeah, just languages are amazing. They're so interesting.
Yeah, it truly is, and that's the one thing I kind of regret. Like back, like if I had a time machine, I would definitely learn a lot more languages instead of me having to, depend on Google Translate because
Mm.
it never comes out the
No.
way like the way I want it, and I'm just like, oh my God, I should have just. I wish I would have took this more seriously.
Yeah. Well, I think it's not too late. It's not too
Oh
late.
no, oh never, never, it's never too late.
Absolutely.
But I was gonna say interesting story going back when you say you deleted all
Mm.
your deleted your followers and stuff.
Mm.
It kind of reminded me of the situation in Jodie Foster back in the day where she had a obsessed fan that literally shot Ronald Reagan, and it started out when he was sending her messages and letters and stuff, and of course at the time, this is back Jodie Foster was back maybe very young, like 11 or 12 ish.
Oh my.
And he literally was like, I would shoot the president for you. And he literally shot Ronald Reagan for her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's yeah.
that's why I was like,
Fans are
people like,
crazy.
yeah, people out here are crazy. They will do crazy things for people.
Yeah, I honestly do not envy people who are famous.
No, especially because it's like you don't have a private life at all. Like,
Exactly.
it's like a double-edged sword. It's like, yeah, you have the money and the fame, but at the same time, though, you just like have no privacy. You got to worry about your kids and stuff being,
Hmm.
like it's. On one hand, I feel sorry for him because like you just don't have the privacy whatsoever.
Exactly. It sounds really lonely, you know.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like a lonely life.
Oof, man, that's rough. It's like a double, like I said, a double-edged sword. It's like, yeah, I would love the money and the fame, but at the same time, I don't want people in
Sure.
my business.
Exactly. I hope we
Oof.
didn't end on like too sad of a note.
No, no, I think this was actually one of few rare occasions where it wasn't like super awkward. It wasn't super depressing. It was like maybe right down the middle. Because one hand, yeah, it was awkward. But the other hand, it's like it's like basically. I feel sorry for him because like that one girl that you've been wanting to ask her for the longest time. You finally had the
Mm,
courage, you find everything doing right. Now that the date just is not going well, and so at the same
right.
time, my heart kind of goes out to him, but it's I don't know, like like it's truly a middle, like in the middle.
In the middle, yeah. All
So
right.
I'm gonna take a sip to that because
Yes,
now
we will
I'm
take
like,
the
oh,
final sip.
mm,
Ah.
oh
Well,
man.
DJ, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I hope we can do another episode together.
Yes, let's do it again.
Hell yes.
Hell yes. All right. Bye bye.
All right, you guys nice. Oh, I forgot. Is it morning or nighttime in Japan? I'm sorry,
It
I forgot.
it is right about noon.
Oh my God, it's like 10 o'clock here. All right,
Yeah.
you probably have a nice afternoon and nice weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All
Bye
right, I'll see you
bye.
later. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Cup of Chocolate. If you have a story to share with us, some juicy gossip, or you want to come on the show with me and be part of the conversation, DM me at our Instagram account at @MarkCupOfChocolate. This podcast is a labor of love by yours truly, but can't exist without your support and engagement. Let me know your thoughts and feedback. I'm Shoko. Join us again next week for another Cup of Chocolate.